Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we are back with another holiday drop from Gucci. So if you guys want to see how this palette performs, see how we like it, then go ahead and stick around because we're getting right into it. Okay guys, Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. So Miss Gucci had a huge launch, and she launched this beautiful eyeshadow palette, this beautiful floral palette, but she's $149. I know, we're going to take a moment. Take a moment. It's a lot, right? 149 bucks for this palette. Let's just get into it and let's see how we like it, right? Let's leave that for a moment. So the unit carton for the palette is this typical Gucci style, that kind of blush, nudie pink on the back. It does have the colors for you so you can see the layout. It's there. Each one of the colors is going to be 0.02 ounces, I believe. Yes, 0.02 ounces and or 0.75 grams, whichever way you like to calculate that for all 12 shades that are in this palette. When you remove it from the box, it's like you're opening a purse. This is a dust cover for your eyeshadow palette. I think we have to rewind the track. This is a dust cover for your eyeshadow palette. Take that in. Let that sink in. Okay, so let's go back to pricing. So it's $149, which is astronomical. Not going to lie. But we're starting off with making me feel like at least it was well spent in the experience you're giving me, because we have a dust cover for our eyeshadow palette. So let's remove it, because God forbid the palette get dusty. And here she is in all her glory. Here our floral love is in all of her glory. Absolutely love it. So this is just such a pretty, ornate palette. From the time I saw it, I knew that I had to have it and I was going to get it. Now this is like every other Gucci product. This is nice. Look at this gold around it. Look at the shape of it. They had such detail with it. The back of it. Now, the blue sticker is not what you guys are going to have. That's how I make sure that I have written it on my Excel sheet so I know it's in my collection. But again, sticking with the same kind of that peachy, blushy color that Gucci does. And then back again. It is lacquered. It's not textured. It is beautiful. This is going to look gorgeous sit in. One of the reasons I was drawn to this was because this looked like a jewelry box that my Nana had when she was alive. So I was very, very, very much so drawn to this. And I really love how they put the Gucci name right here. It just looks simplistic elegance, is what I can say about it. When you go to open it, it's not, no ma'am, no ma'am, we're not doing that here. We're luxe, okay? So much like a jewelry box, we're going to boop, press. Yes, you press the button in and it opens for you. As you can see, it has a very nice mirror. High quality, not cloudy. Absolutely, you can use this as a functional mirror. I typically don't, but if you want to, you can. And again, beautiful, beautiful closure. Not magnetic, actually tooth and key closure. So I think that you'll really like that, because it's going to make it be where it's not just going to pop open. You're going to have to push the button in order to release it. The button is very easy to push in, so it's not, if you do have some issues with your hands, because I do, it's not something that was too strenuous for me, although everybody's level of what is easy and what is not easy is going to be different. I did find it to not be a problem to just slightly push it on that and have it open up. So let's look inside. Oh, I'm sorry, did the Luxe train stop? It surely didn't. Do we have one of those clear plastic coverings for the shadows? Certainly don't. How are we supposed to keep them nice? I'm not touching shadows right now. Why aren't you? There's a plastic covering. The plastic covering is hooked in. The plastic covering is hooked in. You can actually pull this out. I.e. also, guys, you can also pull this out. So you can put it back inside, which is what I just did, and the plastic covering comes right off. So I like how they did that. They put it so it was stuck in there. It wasn't going to fly off when you opened up the palette. It stayed in there, so the shadows were going to have almost a non-existent chance of being hit or touched or anything like that. I really, really like that. I think that is just, it's a simple touch, but it's a nice touch to have, especially when you're paying $149 for an eyeshadow palette. So this is called the palette, I'm going to say Beaute des, oops, I have no, I call it the floral palette. I don't know, I don't speak French, I call it the floral palette. Now, let's be honest here. There's a lot of space that's wasted. These are very tiny, and it really is just a neutral palette with a pop of blue and a pop of purple. Let's be honest. If we just, look, y'all are already trying to have me break this doggone palette, playing around with you guys, trying to show you guys all the neat things that it can do. So this is, if you just take these away, I mean, honestly, it's just a neutral palette. However, I think what really drew people to the palette was this blue right here. And I think in particular because this blue to me is hard to formulate and it's hard for people to wear, especially people who have pigmented melanated skin, and in their campaign they had a deeper complected person with this color on. So I think that people were very interested in that color, excluding the entire packaging, which I think people just really liked to begin with, but that color blue just really drew people to them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started here. We're going to see what we can produce, what we can make, what we can do. So we're going to take the Wayne Gloss. I do have my color switch here. It's a number 4 brush. It's just kind of a medium size fluffer brush. And we're going to go ahead, and these have names on them on the back of the box, I think. Nope, no names, just shades. So we're going to put a picture somewhere if we can, and we're going to kind of give you guys a little diagram of what we're using here. So I'm going to, first off, have this block my mirror for me, and then go ahead and get started. We're going to go in with this kind of light tan shade and just use it as a base. Really, I usually don't do this, but I just want to be able to use as many colors as I can without having to look wonky, because I do want to really see the performance of this palette and see what kind of look it can give. And it actually gave some color, shockingly. It says that these are supposed to be highly pigmented shadows that are soft and buttery to the touch, easy to blend to make a seamlessly perfect look. So we'll see. I have never in my life tried Gucci shadows. I don't know if Gucci has another palette. I just know I saw that floral. I also saw the price tag. We won't tell anybody about that. And I decided that she needed to come home with me. So I really do like that shade for what it is. I mean, let's be honest, it's a basic, kind of very neutral, cool toned, taupey brown, but still the same. It's showing up on me, which I find to be wild, because I honestly did not think that this shade would show up on me. But I think it's done a nice job blending, and it's provided a nice little base for what we're doing. Okay, now guys, we're gonna do the thing. I thought I wanted to just do a neutral look, but then I said, you know what, if I come on here with this $149 palette and I give them a neutral look and don't use that blue at all, it's over. I can feel the tomatoes coming at me. It is over. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use the same brush, and we're going to pick up that blue. Ooh, she's pigmented. And let's see what we can give. I'm not going to lie, this color blue gives me 1980s vibes. And hey, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm not hating on it, but I'm just saying it was a wild time back then. So this is just the first pass of it. Now I do think if you wanted that shade to be on, as you can see, it kind of almost has a blue hue, but it almost looks gray. And that is what a lot of light blues do on melanated skin. Now granted, we do have the taupey color we put down on top, like before it, but a lot of the light color blues end up looking like a gray. They blend out to a gray. So you could leave it like that, and I think that that would be fine. I think that that actually makes the shade be very versatile for you to be able to use either as a blue or as a gray. It almost looks like it has a hue of a purple undertone. But we're not here for that. We're here for blue. So we're going to go back in again, and we're going to build her on up and see where we can get with her and kind of how long it takes us to get there. So as we see, this blue color is now starting to build up. We're starting to see it come through. We're starting to see it shine a bit more. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and start doing the other eye simply so that way we don't get too far with one and then have to do the whole thing on the other. But, oh, my arm is getting tired. But so far, the shadows themselves, we've only used 2, but I can say they're feeling smooth. I feel like they're blending nicely. They're slightly powdery, but again, like I always say, it's a powder product. I really do like this kind of gray, bluey purple that it's giving off, and that's not just a punch of blue right to the face immediately, because that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid it was going to be very, very punchy. We were going to look very, like I said, very early 80s, and I'm not against it. I just, you know, that's not the life everyone's trying to live every day. I didn't want this to be a palette that really had to be like a special occasion or special look palette, because again, she was expensive. And so I want to be able to get my use out of her. So here's this. Okay, so now we're kind of at the same spot with them. I'm going to try and go in one last time and see where we can build the blue up to, because I think anything over that, we might end up just starting to muddy ourselves. So I think where we're at right now, I do like the color, but I do want to see if we can get any more of the blue, because I don't know how light blue, like, I don't know if we're going to get there. Now, the deeper complected models may have had a base on, so I think maybe if you had a white base, this could potentially pop. I don't tend to do white bases, so we don't have that on right now. But I think maybe if you did a white base, you would potentially be able to have a little bit more of this robin's egg, potentially sky blue. You'd be able to have a little bit more of this color really pull through for you. But I think that if we do any more than that third swipe in, I think we're going to start to get a little muddy, because I don't think we're going to be able to build up to that color blue, simply because our complexion is just not at a place where it is fair enough to help that blue color stay quite as light as it is. So again, I think if you had a white base, or if you had like a, NYX used to have those milky white pens, those jumbo pencils. If you use that as a base, that could be good. Also, I think potentially if you went and you did more of a packing motion, I know some people like to really just pack their crease and they don't really like to blend it. They like to have kind of more of a glam or stage look. Potentially you could keep a little bit more of that sky blue look. That is not typically how I do my shadows. So I want to be true to you guys and be true to myself of how I use shadows, and that's how I wanted to use them today. I want to come on and do some glamour stage look when I would never wear that out of the house, or that's not something I would do on a typical day. I want to give you something that if you're going to spend this kind of money, can you actually use it when you don't have 4 hours to put together a look? When you just want to go to work, when you just want to go to the grocery store, can you put a look together and have it look cohesive and have it feel like it was worth the amount that you paid for it? And so far I can say the quality is really nice. Like I said, I don't know if Gucci has any other shadows. I don't know what it is in their shadow history, but I can say that this is a nice formula thus far. So I think that's where we're going to leave that shade at, is right there. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. I'm not even mad at it with my pumpkin color lipstick. Not even with my highly blushed cheeks. Nope, not mad at all. Enjoy it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this Wayne Goss number 2 brush, and this is kind of just like a pointer eye blending brush, pencil brush. We're going to go in with, I think we're going to go in with the brown, the deeper brown in this palette, and we're just going to do the under here, under the eyelashes, since we're here, just to kind of help us guide the rest of the look. Certainly don't want to do that blue underneath the eyes, especially because it's really more of a kind of blue-gray that it pulls. I don't feel like if I put that underneath the eyes that would be the most flattering look. I think something like this kind of brown will fare better than that blue would have. I think if we put the blue underneath, we might look slightly sick. So definitely don't want to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the same brush we had. I did use the color switch already. And we're just going to blend out that brown a little bit. Okay, very nice. So we're going to then take that same pencil brush and we're going to go into the black in this palette. And usually I do not use blacks, and this looks like it's pretty pigmented. So we're going to see, and we're going to start on our outer corner. I didn't want to use the brown for this because we have the blue here, and I don't know between the blue, because it seems to be gray based, if with the brown, if it would start to muddy itself. So rather than muddy itself, I'd rather just do the black and do a deeper shade to kind of avoid the muddying of the two colors, because again, it's like a blue based or a gray based blue. And then we're going to take the Wing Gloss number 6 brush, and it's kind of just like a flat shader, and we're going to kind of just start buffing it out, and if we need to add more we will. But with blacks in particular, I don't like to just overdo it at the beginning, because blacks are not all created the same. They're all created differently, and some of them are more pigmented than others. Some of them don't blend quite as well. Some of them get patchy. So some stay super pigmented. So I like to kind of just go low and slow when I use blacks. And so that's the outer corner right there. I have to say, I thought the black was pretty pigmented. It was that nice kind of even go between a super saturated black that makes it very hard to move and very hard to blend, and a black that almost turns into, again, like an ashy gray when you put it on your lids. I think that this did a nice job of really holding that pigment, but also allowing itself to blend out nicely. I think it's really, really playing well with this blue because of that gray base. I think it's just really, really giving it depth, but also looking like it belongs at the same time. So that's kind of like the hazy blowout we want to do. Really, really, really like that a lot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our lid color. And our lid color here, we have about, ooh, looks like 3 shimmers and maybe 2 satins, satiny type colors. So I think that what we're going to do for this is we're going to go into this kind of bluey silver look. That's this right here. And we're going to just keep going with that bluish color look. And put that on the lid. Ooh. This is nice. This feels really good. This is a nice formula. This is going on very opaque, very nicely. Ooh, look at that shine. That's nice. All right, that's very, very, very nice. I'm surprised with these shadows, but I'm trying not to be too surprised because it's like we've never used Gucci shadows before. So what was there to be surprised about as far as the fact that they did perform well or didn't perform well? But I'm surprised in the fact that, again, this color story, I wasn't really sure about it, and I wasn't sure about how it would show up on my complexion. But I knew the packaging was something that I enjoyed. And so I'm pleasantly surprised, I should say then, that the inner part of the packaging is just as good as the outer part. Now I do go up into my crease because I do have hooded lids, and if I don't, 1, you won't be able to see the colors, and 2, they're just going to move there anywhere, and I'd rather put them there myself than have them move there on their own. So I'm just using my color switch for that pencil brush. I'm going to go back into that shimmer, and it picks up really nicely on the brush too. I'm going to go in here where my fingers really can't go without getting too messy. Just make sure that the look is complete on the lid. This is a really nice, it's very pretty. I'm not a blue silver type person either, so I'm a little shooketh that this is so nice. Now we're taking our JH30, you know, tried and true. You know what we're here to do. We're here to blend the top of this. This is the brush that we use to just make sure that we're not blending away the shimmer, but that it is a little softer. It doesn't have quite such a hard line. So that way it looks blended and nice. I have to say, I'm really liking this look. Really liking it. Okay, so are we done there? Absolutely not. Let's go ahead and let's do an inner corner color. Now, if we're gonna do shimmers, what we have is pink, purple, satin burgundy, and kind of like a deeper burgundy, but I don't want to overpower the look with necessarily the purple, because I think we have a nice thing going on here. So I think what I want to do is take this matte pink, this matte kind of light baby pink right here. I think I want to, ooh, that was a little dusty. I think I want to put that right here. Oh my gosh. Just to continue that like soft, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. That soft look. I really like that. We're just bringing it down a little bit here on the eye. Oh my gosh. Guys, I really shooketh, enjoying. Okay, very nice. And this is a nice pink. For being a baby pink, again, I wouldn't think that this would show up the way it is on my skin tone. And I know I'm not the deepest complected, but these are kind of historically hard to formulate shades for anybody over like a medium fair complexion. So I am shooketh at what these shades are doing here in this moment. Very nice, very nice. And I'm glad because I did get some different lighting, because I'd noticed that some of my videos looked slightly blown out, so I wanted the coloring to look more true, which of course you have to turn down the lighting. So I got some different lighting so that way it could be enough light to clearly illuminate, but also stay true to color. So when I'm looking in my viewfinder, these are true to color. Everything you're seeing is very true to color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go offline. I'm going to do my liner, my lashes. We're going to come back. We're going to do some swatches. We're going to chat. We're going to see what the finished look looks like. And we're going to wrap things up. So give me 2.2 and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're back. We have everything done. Let's chat. So first things first, when I did my liner for the upper lash line, I used the IT Cosmetics Superhero Liner in black. I just thought that the look, being soft, light, and delicate, but having kind of like that silver, the blues, even though we had a little bit of black on the outer corner, that it really needed the black to kind of really ground it. So that's what I used for that. On the lower lash line, if you see the waterline, what I used was the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the color Prance. So Prance was pretty much that same sky blue we had in the shadow, and I thought that it would just pair nicely with the silver and the blue. And I just put it right here in the inner third, and then in the outer third I used my Sephora Gel Waterproof Liner just in deep black. So you have liners that are like $5 with a $149 palette, right? A good product's a good product, doesn't matter the cost of it. So that is what I did for that, just to kind of bring the look together. So let's give you just a little, I thought that would really kind of just ground the whole thing. Next, what we did is I did use, even though I have lashes on, I did mascara my own lashes, and I used my KVD Epic Curl. This is a lash primer. This is in black. I use this to prime my upper and lower lashes. This is fantastic. I just bought 2 more because it is so good. It's absolutely the best lash primer you will ever have. The mascara that I used was the Give Them La La. This I got from BoxyCharm, I think either last month. Yeah, last month. And I just really like this bullet wand. I think it's nice. The formula isn't too liquidy. It isn't too dry. It's almost like it's a perfect formula, the way you would have one after like 2 or 3 weeks of use. So I used that on my upper and lower lashes. Then I was going to just leave it there because I usually do. But I thought, what if we added lashes to the look? And you know me, I don't like any fuss, any muss. but I had just gotten a Sephora order in, and I had this velour kit. So this is from Velour, and it's called the Effortless Kit, and it is no trim lashes. So I was like, okay, I picked this up. It was sitting here. I was like, why don't we try those out? So it does come with the velour glue, and this is just the white lash adhesive glue, which dries clear. And let me tell you, this was good. When she was ready to go, she was ready to go. She was perfect, because I was like, if I try to put these lashes on and the glue messes up my eye look, I'm going to be real upset about it. It didn't. This was perfect. It's just a brush wand that you just brush onto the lashes. It was awesome. Very, very quick. It also comes with this little mini eyelash tool to go ahead and put on. This is key, guys. Let me tell you, I've had plastic ones. They suck. And I end up having to use regular tweezers, and those are dangerous because they're sharp. So this is an awesome tool. Even if you didn't get the kit, getting a little tool like this, it's basically like a slanted L. This is perfect for you to put on your lashes and to kind of close them together and make sure you don't poke your eye out, but also make sure you're able to lay them nicely. This was the fastest pair of lashes I've ever put on, even over magnetic lashes. So that says something. Now, they didn't have a choice of style. So this is slightly more dramatic than I usually do. Slightly more fluttery. Usually I do wispies that essentially end up looking like your own lashes. This is a little longer, a little fuller, a little more wispy, but I'm not mad at it. And they absolutely were no trim. They went right on. I went right to the corner of my eye. They went right to their perfect spots. It was easy peasy, because I always have to trim my lashes, and then you always have to make sure they're trimmed equally. Otherwise it looks a little wonky. This is perfect. The band is nice and thin. It's lightweight. I don't feel like I can feel it. It really allowed it to sit on there nicely, and it really gives it a nice uniform look without having that kind of very obvious band that you can see. So I really, really like that lash kit, and I think I'm definitely going to get another one. But let's take a look at the look. How do you guys like it? How do you feel about it? I'm pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I'm a little shooketh. I'm surprised, and I really think these lashes just do a little something for me with this kind of light, soft, demure blue look, in which I do not mess with these light blues like this, but this is very, very nice. I really like it. So let's get back into our $149 friend, shall we? And let's do some swatches. So if you want to stick around for the swatches, you can. If you don't want to stick around, thank you so much for being here for the time that you were. I love you. So let's go with the black, and I'm just going to do the swatches on my hand in kind of like short staccato, because I don't have that kind of hang time with my arm or my hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these swatches on here and then show you guys, because I'm going to do the first row, and then I will come back and do the second row. That way you guys can see. Well, the white in this palette feels really, really, really good. Okay, so this is the top row. That's the top row right there, starting from the black down to the pink. The swatches are swatches. I mean, I could do a little more right here, but they're just swatches. And as you guys know, I don't necessarily enjoy swatches because I think they just tell you the color, but I don't think they're indicative of the performance. They can swatch horrible, perform great, swatch great, perform horrible. So I really think it's just about seeing the color that they're going to be. And as you guys saw, we did use the shades. You guys did see the shadows. You were able to see them perform. So you saw them live and in action. That's why I like to kind of do the swatches a lot of times afterwards, because you guys have already seen them perform, and so you can see for your own eyes, like, wow, that swatched horribly, and I watched it perform on her eye, and it wasn't indicative of what the swatch was trying to give me. So this is the bottom row. So right here from the blue to this kind of shimmery metallic purple gray. So that is the palette, guys. Let me try to get you in all the different lights. That is the palette right there. Like I said, pretty much it's a neutral palette with a pop of blue and purple, but I think nonetheless, I think it's a really, really pretty palette and a very workable palette. I can't wait to do some more looks with it, because I thought that was pretty effortless to put the shades on. They really blended very nicely. They paired together nicely. I thought it was a great look. Now, we did use the black. We used the pink. We used the blue. We used kind of this silver blue for the entire lid. We used the tan, and we used the brown. So we used 6 shades out of 12. Again, I try to at least use half of a palette when I do a look, and we used half the palette. So if anything, if you say my palettes have to at least give me 50%, if it's going to be worth the price, this gave 50% with this look, and I think this is a fantastic look. This is one I would do again, and this is a look I would wear out over and over and over again. So I think that all in all, for me, the investment was worth it because, one, I really like the packaging and I'm a collector, and I think that the performance was where it should be, and the experience, I mean, the dust jacket with the palette, I think the experience is where it should have been for the price point that they're at here. For a lot of people, this is going to be too expensive, and that's okay too. But I think that when you're moving away from just makeup being makeup and you're moving into the collector category, makeup becomes something different. The packaging matters, the experience matters, because you're going to be collecting it far after it is no good to use anymore, and you're not really looking to get a palette necessarily to hit pan on everything and get the most use out of everything. You want to use it and enjoy it, but you're really going to be collecting it again far after the shadows are even good anymore. So it really depends on if you're somebody who's trying to use it for functionality only, somebody who wants functionality and you want aesthetics, or somebody who's doing functionality and you're moving towards the collector side where it has a bigger purpose than just functionality. Is really, to me, how the price is going to weigh out as far as justification for each individual person. So this is just it on my complexion, on my eyes. So I hope that this was very helpful because, like I said, I have seen, I think, 2 reviews on this. They were both from people who were not the same complexion as me. So I hope that for my video, anybody who has the same complexion as me or is in the same realm can at least see how these kind of shades and colors might perform on their skin and their eyes, and kind of make a better assessment on whether or not they would want to use it based off of that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, not 1 but 2. Please leave me comments down in the comment section below. Please, 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 I love interacting with you guys. If you guys have not already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos and you don't miss a single one. Head on over to Instagram, follow me there so you can see what I do when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes. How do you guys like the lashes? I'm kind of really digging these and loving these. Like I said, they're not really the style I would have chosen, but I'm kind of here for it. Yeah, so let's just conversate. Let's chat it out. Let's talk about it. And if you guys have not been here on Saturdays we do Resurrection Shadow Day, and that is where we resurrect an old palette that is 2 years or older, and we just play with it again, and we kind of see if we still love it. We do a look with it. We talk about it, because we have so many palettes that come out. There's so many palettes that we buy, we use once, and then they get chucked into a drawer, especially if you're a collector. So it's a way to really show our palettes some love again and just have a good time hanging out with each other. So if you're not busy on Saturdays, join me here for Resurrection Shadow Day. So guys, I love you. I'll miss you, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys.